Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times.
And shenanigans.
If this is your very first time joining us, welcome to the party. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses, including those that are mental and emotional.
Because I'm mental and she's emotional.
Facts. Where can they find us?
You can find us on YouTube and on every Spotify-ish playlist in the world, except for anything on Apple.
Playlist. Not.
No, we have playlists. I've made them. Don't worry.
Okay, I was like...
We do? Yes.
This makes me uncomfortable.
But we're on those platforms. And also you can join us on Discord. And we do lives on Friday and Saturday that you can join us in. You can do that either on YouTube or in the Discord and talk with us and let us know what's going on.
Yes, and you can find the link to the Discord in the description.
It's right down there somewhere. Used to be
in
up
the
there,
abyss.
It's down there, used to be on the side. Who knows? I don't understand YouTube.
They
Used
just
to have
keep
drop-down
changing
boxes.
it. They just want you to be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what you do,
Mhm.
you're gonna be wrong. And then you rotate the phone and it's still wrong. Yeah, you know.
You can't win.
What are we talking about today?
Fear.
Yep.
Just
That's it. Those are the notes.
fear itself, I should have said.
Those are the notes.
We wrote a lot. Also, this is going to be a really, really amped up one. I'm just warning you now.
Yes, and we'll tell you about why in the time for the weekly recap.
Check in. I think.
I'm dying. I think.
Is it? Are we checking in?
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks. I don't know how to do this anymore.
Let's just walk through this week.
Oh, okay. So this week.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have an episode.
Well, we did. It just didn't go live.
Yeah.
Deal with it. We also didn't do one today. Jen hasn't had the time to do the thumbnails and stuff.
Okay,
so it's ready to go.
I wasn't expecting there to be one this week.
It was last week we didn't have one.
Okay.
And then this week we don't. Maybe, I think, for some reason I'm under the impression we don't have two.
There might be two.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stuff happened. We had to go places.
Yeah. Yeah, do yours first.
Go places, do things.
Do yours first and then I'll do mine.
I mean, they're the same.
Mostly.
Okay. For mostly. Yeah, we didn't have an episode. We put it off because there were more important things that had to be done. And that led us on a impromptu road trip.
Yeah.
That we took on Monday of this past week. And it was like 10 hours in the car.
10 hours in the car. Total.
Yeah.
Total. Not all at once. But it was broken
Pretty
up
close.
by like an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. So 10 hours in the car. And then it was so worth it. It was so worth it for so many reasons. We got to see two really lovely human beings whom we adore. And we're not weirded out that you came talk to us. We're so happy.
We were
so
confused,
excited.
but it was great.
Yeah, we were like, wait a second. We know this person.
Why do I know you?
But why? But
Yeah.
how comes? And yeah. And we got hugs, and that was awesome.
And
that was really cool. So absolutely worth it, 100%. But also with the toll, the payment we had to pay.
The painment.
The painment we had to pain.
It took us until today.
Yes, to feel relatively normal.
We would have done fine if it wasn't for the 4th. The 4th kicked our butts.
Yes.
Because I was cleaning with Jen up until that morning.
I don't even have that
all week.
excuse. Like,
and then, you did lots of socializing that day, and then you came here.
Yeah.
And you were already still messed up from the car trip. Like,
yeah.
And then we didn't do the live last night.
Nope.
So
we needed to rest.
Yeah.
And recover because it was a lot. Like by the 4th, so by Thursday I was like partway convinced that I had like a kidney infection or something.
Because her back hurt.
Because my back hurt so unbelievably bad, and like nothing. There was no reprieve. I hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it. It was awful, but worth it.
Yeah, totally.
The payment was not fun, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I don't regret any of that.
Yeah. And then the 4th happened, and then ta-da!
Yeah.
We're here.
I had to fight with Cleo last night. That was fun.
Yeah.
Kicked Cleo's ass. If anything, I got stomped. Let's be honest.
Do you want to explain?
No. Just imagine I got into a fist fight with a guy named Cleo. He kicked my butt. That's all you need to know.
A fist fight, yeah.
Fisticuffs.
Virtual fist fight.
It's fun. Actually, I love fun. And then I didn't sleep last night.
Yeah, you've not been doing a lot of that.
No, I haven't. And it's not like anything's keeping me up and I don't feel manic or anything. I'm not like...
No, you're just not doing the sleeps.
And I'm having the insomnia phase again, which comes and goes.
Yep.
Like the moon.
Like my night sweats.
Right.
That are back.
Yeah, that's... I wonder if they correlate. We should track.
I was looking into this the other day. Oh, that was the other thing. I got my results for the biopsy.
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Yes. So, jumping into that, I had a nerve biopsy done in this leg. I have 3 little holes in me where they took out the sensory nerves, right? Small fiber nerves. And yes, we have small fiber neuropathy, which confirms that, which is nice.
Without a reason.
Yeah, they're like, there's no obvious cause. And I'm like, EDS. They're like,
okay.
Sure. I don't know. I don't know.
You're like, why not?
But I was looking into it more, and it's not just the sensory nerves. It's also the autonomic.
Mm-hmm.
So it, small fiber neuropathy itself can cause autonomic dysfunction.
I knew that. There's something in my throat. Sorry.
But like on large scale, I was like, that's like the is it POTS? Is it MCAS? Is it
right? Is it small fiber neuropathy now?
Exactly.
Let's put it on the wheel of things it could be.
Yep. And then I hurt my feelings that day where I was like, "What do you mean water?"
No, I don't. Water.
He looks so confused.
Doesn't help
within himself.
Why won't you go away, throat tickle? I'm here forever.
Here, have coffee sip.
I thought you were going to say senpai, and I was going to be very happy. But fine. Whatever. Coffee. Okay. Anyway.
I don't remember.
She had small fiber neuropathy. It went away. She's fine now. The end.
Yes.
Wait. It doesn't go away. The end.
It doesn't go away. Oh, yeah. And the face agony. Fun. That was fun. That was getting really bad on the 4th. And yesterday was pretty bad. And then today, I had the teeth one where it's like all of a sudden you need a root canal on all of your teeth.
Yeah.
All at once. And I was like, I don't want to do that. But it is what it is.
Yep.
And I have a job. And I'll have different insurance soon.
Yep.
And that will leave me in a good place for like pain management and just stealing your team, basically.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
That's an A+ move.
That's the plan. So,
yeah.
So, we're talking about
fear.
Fear.
What are you afraid of? Tell me in the comments below so that I can mock you incessantly. We were talking about this in the chat today, actually, in the live a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we got on the subject of spiders, and then we got on the subject of clowns, and Jay's a monster, but then we found out Jay's not actually a monster. Jay likes them for the right reason. There's only one right answer for liking clowns.
I like clowns. And we're like, what is wrong with you? And he goes, they're creepy. And we were like, oh. Yes.
Out, yeah.
Okay.
You like that stuff. That's fine. You don't like them because they bring you fun and sunshine. Not in the same way, at least.
No. No, they do not bring fun and sunshine. They bring terror and disturbance to the force.
To the force. All right. So fear.
Fear.
How do you want to tackle this?
So, I don't know. So, this is an interesting one because it was one that was just kind of handed to my brain by my lovely husband, who brings me topics sometimes and is like, haha, ta-da. And I'm like, I'm going to steal that and use it on my podcast. But there's so many different avenues of fear to explore, especially in the like chronic illness area. We have a lot of different kinds of fear, and then we have a lot of different like fears that are imposed on us in a way. So there's that like, I don't know, let's start there with the like imposition of fear.
That is a good starting spot. I like that.
So what I mean by that is like I'm trying to think back to something that might have been like a big deal or something. it's like my heart rate or something was all messed up. Oh, the abnormal Q wave.
Oh, yeah.
And then somebody was like, "Are you worried?" Oh, it was my therapist who was like, "Aren't you scared like that they'll find something?" And I was like, "No, I'm not scared that they'll find something." But then there's also the imposition of fear, as in like you're clearly afraid of the pain.
Right.
And that's the one that we've been experiencing the most of
lately.
Yeah,
like when fear is brought up as a subject, it's usually that. It's like,
right.
And it's coming on your end, because my team doesn't do that to me. My team's not like, you're afraid of it. They're like, oh, wow, you're going through it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like, and that's why I put fear itself, because back to that same idea of there's nothing to fear but fear itself. The idea that the fear is worse than the pain.
Yeah.
And that's always how it is. The anticipation of pain is always greater than the pain itself.
Yeah. I was trying to think about this earlier when you brought it up.
Yeah.
At some point, we stopped being afraid. Because I remember, as a kid, you have the, like, afraid of blood fears and, like, the... Yeah. But I tried to think to, like, when that stopped. You know what I mean? And it's not a good thought.
I have a really clear memory of that.
Go for it.
I don't even know what I did, but I think I had hurt myself pretty bad in some way. Like it was either one of those like you knocked off your pinky toe on something or you racked your shin on something really hard.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do about it. And I was in my like closet because that's just where I landed when I fell. And I remember laying there going, it's only pain, it's only pain, it's only pain, and just breathing through it and then being like, hey, that worked.
I have memories of that.
What was that? That was interesting.
But I think I forced myself into that in a way because of the culture that I was in at the time. Because it was would have been living in Deming, surrounded by like cow people and like running around in the desert doing stupid things like running into barrel cactuses. Like I've literally gone and laid on top of one. Like I tripped and I fell over it and had to pull myself off of it and then pull them out of me. And they're the ones with the curved barbs. Oh, it was gnarly. I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, ow.
But I don't know that I would have gotten past the fear otherwise, other than being forced to
experience
in a way.
It. Yeah.
Right.
It's like unwanted exposure therapy.
Kind of, but it worked. Like I haven't been like afraid of pain in a long time. I don't even pre-diagnosis I wasn't like, oh no, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, it hurts.
Yeah.
Like in the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's the
I wasn't afraid that it was going to get worse, or I just assumed it would, and then I wasn't afraid of it.
Right. It's like when you go to have a procedure done and you know it's going to be uncomfortable, you just know it's going to hurt.
Right.
You look at it and instead of being like, oh no, this is going to hurt, you're just like, all right, it's going to hurt. Like there's not another way around it. It's going to hurt. Just let it hurt.
Yeah.
Just allow it to hurt because it's gonna. Like being afraid of it doesn't dissipate any of that. And it doesn't help you because there are situations like ours where you can't escape it. There is no escape because like the fear of pain is meant to prevent you from harming yourself or putting yourself in dangerous situations that lead to injury and damage. But that's not our circumstance as far as it goes with pain. Like we're so far on the other end that actually we could probably use a healthy dose.
I was gonna say,
pain
probably
and self-preservation.
What came to mind is that
that's just
when you don't fear, or like adrenaline junkies was kind of my thought.
Yes.
Because it's not like we're into the adrenaline, but if we were put in a position where we were like, go BMX down this hill, there's no part of me that would go, I'm afraid of that. I would rationalize it. Like, can my body handle that? And if it was like 30% up, I probably would do it. You know what I mean? Just to try it.
Yeah.
Just to see if I could do it.
That's the other thing too, is like the seeking out of pain to understand it.
Yeah.
Was always a big one for us. So like, I think the same thing is true of fear.
Yeah. If you understand why you're afraid of something.
Right. Like seeking something out and that you're like, that hurts, let's see what it is, and poke it again and again
and
again.
No, I think that's huge because we understand it. We understand where the pain's coming from and what it is. So there's no fear. It's just
right.
It's just another dial on another light on the switchboard.
Right. Well, and now it's again, it's become kind of the
So what are you afraid of?
I'm more afraid of how I'm perceived than anything else.
Wow.
And not in a like self-centered-ish way, but in a
right.
like,
no, you don't want everyone. You're not narcissistically self.
Right. It's like I get caught up in trying to control the like narrative around myself because of
EDS and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and because of like what I came out of.
Right.
Right.
No
where
shit.
I didn't have any say in the narrative and it was super destructive toward me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was always a big fear of like not being understood or being so misunderstood that it's construed to be something it's totally not.
She means gaslighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like being gaslit. Let's put it that way. I don't like that because it's not only that it's hurtful, it's also destructive because I will spend hours self-guessing myself.
Oh yeah.
Like second guessing myself and being like, well, do I know what I know or did I make it up or like did I and then I stop being able to trust what I'm doing.
Right.
So that's a really big one for me, especially surrounding like being chronically ill. Yeah, I don't know.
I have a similar situation.
Yeah.
Just I worry about what. It's not that I'm worried, like afraid of how I'm perceived. In a way, no, it is. It's just different. I'm worried how I'm talked about in certain circles.
Yes.
And how that affects people that are close to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because I had the fruition of that.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Because, you know, there are people that interact with other people that I don't get along with.
Yeah.
And then there's that crossover where I'm like, whatever. They're going to say whatever. But at the same time, it's like they're going to taint the truth.
Yes.
And then I'm going to have to defend the truth. And then I'm going to have to like make sure it's the truth.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Is the like, is it the truth because it's the truth or is it the truth because people believe it?
Right.
And then that gets messy and I'm like,
yeah,
no, now I don't know what the truth is. And now I'm rewriting my own history because I can't like keep track of all of this. And yeah, I think the fear of having to defend yourself is really valid.
Yeah.
Like really valid. The fear of having to like try to explain your own being. The fear of
or even trying to not do that to other people. I'm really careful about things that I say about certain people because like I don't want to be the person who's like, well, so and so said this and did this and clearly it was, you know what I mean? I don't play that game.
Right.
I'm really careful about it.
Yes. But other people are not.
No.
And that comes across.
Other people use that as the problem.
Yes.
That's their navigation through life. And that's horrifying to me. Just be yourself. Be happy with being yourself. Love yourself.
Yeah.
Narcissists.
Love yourself, you
fucking narcissist. The real you, not the fake you made up in your head.
I know. That's just funny. But yeah, that's a really big one for me.
Yeah. I was thinking when you
fear
said like
of not knowing the truth.
Yeah, when you were talking about imposed fears, I was like fears that are like pushed on you as you're growing up, and then I was like, oh, there is a lot of that. We had the opposite though.
In a way, yeah. But I guess that could
think of a time that Dad ever went, don't do that.
Not him, but he was like, I don't remember. You have to understand, I don't remember him for the first like 5 years of my life.
I know. I do very vividly. I remember like getting pushed in the lake or like being pulled behind the boat.
I remember things like that.
Mach 10 and then...
That was like, it wasn't ever like a let you discover it on your own. It was like a cruelly introduce you to the thing.
Yeah.
That I do know. Yeah. Okay. I'm on the same page for that. So I
if
don't know.
anything,
I feel
they
like
had like a fear of not religion. I don't know. Fear of God.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That was one. Like the fear of heaven and hell and the fear of well, and that's where we're introduced to our biases, right? As children in general. The things that your parents fear and hate are the things that you are brought up to fear and hate. Or, you know, if your parents have done the work and gone to therapy, maybe that doesn't happen, but
I just lost myself in a tangent. Holy crap.
What was it?
Well, I was like, when did I stop being affected by that? Because there are times very distinctly when I was really young when I would go, I don't feel that way about that thing.
But you try to make yourself because you have to.
No, like even I would let it happen, but I wouldn't participate in whatever.
What do you mean?
Like cultural racism comes to mind because like I just growing up, even my step grandmother was super racist, but she moved to Deming, New Mexico, which is on the border of Mexico. So she went as close as she could to Mexicans that she would badmouth incessantly. Right. And it's like in those situations, I would let them do their thing. Yeah. Because there's, you're outnumbered and you don't want to be the dissenting voice and the youngest person in the room saying shit. A little one. But I remember very distinctly going, I don't think that's true. Like, I don't feel that way about that. Yeah. And like keeping that as like a core truth instead of being like, oh, maybe I should be worried about them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was just trying to figure out when you develop that. And you're a teacher of development. Tell me, when does that happen, teacher of development?
Which specific part? The being able to recognize that you are within something and you have to participate or put yourself in danger. That I think happens extremely early. I think that's an
observation.
Right.
That's a self-preservation for
yes,
sure. I get
100%.
That. But
that makes perfect sense.
The having enough of an identity to know that you don't.
That's really hard to say because I
feel like that happened late for me.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Like how old?
Maybe 10 and up.
Interesting.
I was keep in mind, I was very traumatized from everything that had happened to me before that. Right. So I was just trying to make everybody happy all the time. Yeah. Was my concern. Had nothing to do. I never thought about myself for It was always, oh, I'm going to fit in and make you happy. Yeah. That was everything. Right. And then it got to the point where doing that didn't work. Right. Because I was with my stepdad who just couldn't be tamed. Yeah. Yeah. So it was then that I was like, well, I'm going to start watching Catholic TV. Suck on that. You guys don't go to church? You can bring church into the house. They had a Catholic mass thing that they would put on ABC in the mornings.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, because I came from a Catholic school to Deming, and I was like, I'm going to maintain something. Right, right. And that lasted about a month.
Everything changes, yeah.
I was like, this is lame. I don't believe what he's talking about. And then I was, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it was around that age.
That's really interesting because that leads me on a totally different tangent. That this episode, we're gonna have to post it on both channels, I think.
It'll be fun.
No, but I was just thinking about how, I don't know, how you know how people talk about gaining consciousness.
Yeah, yeah.
When does that happen?
Twice.
Okay.
I believe it happens twice. When you're young, up until the age 7, and then you have the Great Reset.
Yeah, because your brain has to reorganize.
Right. And then from then on, you're a different person. Very noticeably, you're aware.
That makes perfect sense because for me, 7 was a big age of
Same for me.
That was really established memory. But I do have an earlier occurrence. Yeah. Because I had, do you remember the old house where there used to be that laundry drop, the laundry chute? Yeah. I remember being in trouble for some reason. I don't even know. I was always in trouble. Just always, continually. And I remember being upstairs, laying in the closet, in the linen closet, just over the laundry chute and listening to them talking about me. And then realizing that I was self-aware, and that was the first time I went, I don't feel like a child.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand being this child.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Mine was this. I had the same moment, but it was about mortality. But it makes more sense because at the same age you experienced, that would be the same time that I lost like 40-50% of my family to cancer.
Crazy. And it was all pre-7, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice.
And it was all within 2 years.
Even understand
it was,
fully.
And I wasn't involved. Like, they kept me out of it. So I had to, like, include myself into things to understand it.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember having the, like, oh, my God, I'm going to die someday. Oh, my God, I'm a person. Oh, my God. Like, standing at the top of the stairs, like, disassociating.
Yeah.
Staring down at me like, oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Like, it hit me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because, yeah, I just...
But it makes sense, right? Like, that would happen twice.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it with my kids. They're perfectly normal, and then they start derping around the age 7. Like, they're like, why can't I remember or think how to do the...
Yeah.
Like, when you were 5, you could do this, but now you're struggling. It's because their brains are rewiring. And
oh, yeah.
It happens.
It's like a great big consolidation.
Yeah.
Of like, all right, we have to make room for all of these developmental changes that are happening in the brain.
Mm-hmm. But the Great Reset. I love it.
The Great Reset, yeah. It's pretty much how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting. But yeah, no, I think that, like, I don't remember being afraid of death.
I do, in a way. I wasn't afraid of dying, but I was afraid of... This says a lot about who I was and who I am, I guess, still.
Yeah.
I was worried about how everyone would feel about it. Because I felt upset that my grandparents were gone and that people around me, like some of my friends had died.
Yeah.
And all I cared about was that other people would be sad if I died.
Yes.
So I didn't want to hurt them.
I feel that way.
And I was like,
now.
please don't die. Don't make them sad.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is for me.
Okay.
When it comes to mortality.
Right.
Like, I don't mind the idea of it. It doesn't give me stress or anything, but
right.
Then there's like the idea that everyone will be upset. I'm like, oh, then I get tense and like, that's when it triggers.
That I don't like.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, I don't think as like a kid I was ever like, oh no, but you could die. 'Cause I don't think that's how your kid brain works in general.
No, I think of it more as like they tried to hide it from me and then I realized it on my own, you know?
Yeah.
That was what happened. Yeah, it was a moment. Well, all right, we're halfway there.
Okay.
Why don't we switch into talking about medical fears?
Ah, yes.
Because we have a lot to say about that. There's like people putting on you the you're afraid of pain labels.
Yep.
There's legitly being afraid of procedures or being afraid of something that you've been like not diagnosed with, but that you're looking at. Like,
there's something that always, always, always triggers me.
Which is?
Anesthesia.
Oh, yeah.
Being knocked out. That, like, and it's
funny to me.
And it's not, I don't even know if I could like call it fear. It's just like visceral. My body is like, oh dear God, we're dying. We are dying now. And if you don't do something, you're dying. You're gonna die.
And I've said it before, but like when I'm in that, I have that moment and then I just release. I'm like, okay.
You're like, okay.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I have to do it now. Like, now that I know that I'm gonna have that moment.
Right.
I have to be able to be like, all right, experience the moment. And also don't try to sit up because you're going into surgery. It's gonna be fine. Just go to sleep. Mm-hmm. You're okay.
Yeah.
But the first like couple times was like, huh? And then you try to sit up and they're like, no, no. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you don't understand.
I remember every time having to do that, being like, oh no, it's fine. It's gonna, whatever.
Oh no. Oh. Too late.
It's not that bad. And then I'm out.
Well, I think, but it feeds into the fear of like dying but not being there for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be unconscious when I die.
No, and that's what fucked me up about having sepsis.
Yeah.
That was what was bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
Afterward. Wasn't that I almost died?
There.
It's that I was so out of it that I wouldn't have known.
Right.
And that bothers me so
like you
much.
You just skipped ahead.
Yeah.
That's a weird sensation.
And that I was functioning kind of in between and couldn't like communicate.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember things that were said to me like 5 seconds before.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Yeah. I'm afraid of you dying. Does that count?
No, I'm not going to die. It's fine. I have EDS.
I know,
it's like
we
120,
have weird
dude.
plot armor.
Yeah.
I said that. My pain therapist, or not my pain therapist, my pain doctor was like, huh, yeah, that is EDS. I was just like, oh my God, no. So it's like, yeah, I have weird plot armor. I have nothing's ever going to be seriously wrong. And if it was, I don't think I would be afraid or even like shocked that it was. But I don't know. My biggest fears are, and this is one that I think all of us zebra land can understand. And a lot of us who have conditions that took a longer time to diagnose, where something bothers you for long enough that you get it checked out. But your fear is once you've gotten it checked out, they're going to come back and say it's nothing.
Oh, yeah.
That is a continual fear that will last my entire life through.
That's me and my knee. My knee is perfectly fine now. Still need to get an MRI of it.
So irritating. Yeah.
The worst one is the fear of pain, though, I think. Because
I think that's the most impactful for people. For a lot of people.
Well, and that's what I took away from all of the group therapy we did, was that most of these people were just afraid of...
Terrified of fear.
Right.
Terrified of pain.
Of pain.
Yeah.
And that's why they were, like a lot of people in pain management have issues, like, with their pain meds and, like, because they're constantly on alert for, oh, no, is it going to hurt? I don't want to hurt.
Right.
Even if, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to...
Well, and it's not...
The meds aren't going to make you 100% good anyway.
Right. Well, the thing is that I wish there was a way for me to like fully communicate my thoughts on pain and what pain is and how it is integral. Help. Can't speak. Send help. It's broken. Important to like how we take on challenges and how we push into... Because you know, like the learning zone, like out of your comfort zone, right outside of your comfort zone is that learning zone, right?
Yeah.
But if we're too afraid to step outside of our comfort zone, we don't advance.
Yeah, I've done a lot of that in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like signing up for things like, I don't know, doing a live for a bunch of nomads, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? The pilgrims are just nomads.
Yeah.
We did a whole live stream for them.
Yep.
That was a thing.
That was cool.
We did 2 actually. If you think about it. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But like being like, we could do that.
Right.
Especially when we had like, dude, if we tried to do it today, it'd be so good.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Like our setup now is so much better. They missed out. They should have waited a year.
They should have.
Then
oh man.
We could have put 4 of them in here.
I forgot about that for a sec. Dang.
Well, I'm thinking like in that learning zone, you have like always with editing or anything of the podcast. Yeah. It's like I like to push myself to the uncomfortable place, and then it's like, okay, now I can try to learn stuff here.
Well, and that's the thing is like once you get past the fear, that's where you can explore the pain. Right.
I was gonna say the opposite.
What do you mean?
Not the opposite. The inverse. I was gonna say that if you're dealing with fear, try to understand it, which takes away the mystery of it all, right? Yeah. And helps you cope with fear. Yeah. Like if you're afraid of something, analyze why you're afraid of it.
Yes.
It may be uncomfortable. That's again putting yourself in the uncomfortable zone, but you're going to learn.
Right.
It's the same thing. I feel like it's the same kind of...
Yes. Well, and I fully believe that like that all that mental work is still work.
Oh, absolutely.
It is still work.
That's why therapy is draining.
Analyzing that the ability to have that self-analysis is not something that everybody has. So,
and it makes a lot of people uncomfortable when you think about it. Like, they're like, oh, I don't want to, no, I don't think I want to do that. It's like, but you should, like, try it at least.
Like, I don't want to be alone with my brain. I'm like,
I don't either, though. I get that.
My brain's just noisy. She's just loud.
Yeah, I know. I could hear her over here. It's annoying. Shut up.
She's singing.
Could you stop?
They said not to talk about it.
They did. They said not to. Okay, that was an inside joke for Doggo. We did it. Doggo, mission successful. I got you, buddy.
I knew it was coming eventually.
It was. There was no way it wasn't going to happen. And I waited a good time.
That's perfect.
Like halfway through.
I just don't know. I understand why people fear pain, right? It is unpleasant. But that's... okay. Lies. Let me go back. I understand why people fear pain outside of it being just unpleasant. Mm-hmm. Because in, like, healthy bodies, pain means something is wrong.
Right.
And so that is what makes your body go, do something about that. Mm-hmm. But when you are chronically ill or you have chronic pain, it's not an alarm anymore.
No.
It's just a noise. Is it loud? Is it really annoying? Oh, yeah. Is it kind of draining? Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it going to kill you?
No, but
no.
The mantra, I think, really is important. Like, what the pain is just your body telling you there's something wrong. Like, if you think about using it as a mantra when you're in pain, mm-hmm. I mean, that's what we did as kids. But that's how we got here.
That only works if you don't have a significant amount of, like,
chronic?
No, medical anxiety.
Well, that's a whole other thing to tackle.
For people with medical anxiety, pain means something's wrong, therefore something's wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's a really hard one to deal with because there are times where you're like, no, it's my body and I know. And you can go through doctor after doctor after doctor and nobody can find anything. All the time. It happens constantly.
You hear it.
But then you get like that one doctor and you're like, oh, wow, we found the thing.
Yeah, but then you get labeled as a doctor shopper. Right. And, oh, you hunted this down. You made this happen.
Right.
Yeah, I did because I had to. Yeah. Sorry.
And then you have people who like have pain.
Yeah.
Idiopathic pain. Nobody likes hearing the word idiopathic. I'm really sorry, but
you call me an idiopath?
Yeah.
Does that mean that I can channel idiots? Like a brain? I'm mentally able to tap into idiocy? Because I pretty much do on the daily.
That's just your own brain.
So you're just calling me stupid. Thanks. No, that was worse. I thought stupid. I could tap into it. And you're brain like, no, that's just your brain, dum-dum. Yeah. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. This is cool. Chris, you're so good. You're wonderful. You're so smart. 10 seconds later, you dum-dum. Your brain's just stupid. Which Karina do I believe? Podcast Karina or behind-the-scenes Karina?
All our brains are stupid. Come on.
I know.
What did my brain say the other day that was just like, you're there? And I was like, what?
What was that? What? Those are my favorite, though. When Karina does that, God. It's like, what the came like, out of your face?
What was that? Jesus, brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. But, like, the fear of pain, it makes sense, mm-hmm. but it also doesn't after a certain point. Like, once you have experienced enough to understand that that does not mean something is wrong, that's where the fear should be stopping.
That's the problem, though, is that we have a constant exposure to it, right?
Yes.
And they don't, and they shouldn't.
Right.
So it's harder. We're asking a lot more, I feel like.
Well, and I'm not asking, like, if you are a normal, like, you have a healthy body, absolutely be afraid of pain, bro. Like,
I get that. I know you're not saying that. What I'm saying is that, like, it's a big ask bigger than it is for us because since we deal with it all, we have a reference even.
Right.
Their reference is like something traumatic that happened. And
that's the other thing was like, okay, so my neuropatist.
She's good with words today.
My neurologist was talking about, he's like, well, people can't understand. And I'm like, yes, we know. Mm-hmm. We talk about this on the podcast, that it's not that people don't want to understand.
Right.
It's that people don't have a depth of knowledge large enough mm-hmm. to draw upon to be able to understand what's going on there.
Right.
You should not at any point, like that's, if you are someone who has a well deep enough to understand all of those pains,
she means if you have trauma. Do you have trauma? You're good.
Or chronic pain, you know.
Which is trauma.
Is it?
It can be.
It can be, yeah.
If you're still afraid of pain,
you're talking
constant
about, like,
pain is trauma.
Yes, okay.
You see where I'm coming from?
That makes
where
sense.
Once you're past that, it's no longer a fear. It's no longer traumatic. That was a traumatic time for you, but you're not in the trauma
That
anymore.
makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris, do good. Brain fast.
Keep going.
Also, if you're afraid of spiders, watch some videos of jumping spiders. They're adorable. You'll love them.
They're very cute.
And they're smart, and they're just great. If you're afraid of snakes, good for you. Never change. If you're afraid of asteroids hitting Earth, don't stand in open fields in the middle of the night. Oh, your head perked up. So you don't like that feeling? You don't want to be standing in an open field, nothing around you, and just the sun or the lack of sun?
Don't like that.
All of everything?
I don't like it.
Sprawled out before you?
Nope, no thank you.
Traveling at billions of miles per hour in different directions?
It can do that. That's fine. I don't care if it's moving.
Well, it is, so good.
That's fine.
I'm glad that's at least not a hookup.
I don't care about the movement part.
No, but that's part of the grandeur of the universe, right? Is that it's all moving. And
sure.
She hates it.
It's gross. The universe is icky, and I don't like it.
Go back and watch Chaotic Conversations in Chaco. Go watch Chaco.
Yeah. Or Life, the Universe, and Everything. That episode.
Yeah, the pilot.
Yeah. Oh, man. But fear, I don't know.
It's just, I
just like to think about like what fear's purpose is.
It's
and then challenge the fear
survival,
based on that.
Right?
Right.
And then also the fear of the unknown, which is a survival thing.
Yeah.
But like I feel like the biggest fear is the unknown, right?
Yeah.
Which is why you don't check in with yourself, because you're afraid to know what's going on. You don't do the self-introspection because you don't want to. There's a reason people aren't just natively like that.
Well, and those are the people who are constantly running from themselves at like full tilt. You're like, you are going to crash and burn so hard when you finally
those ones break my heart
and fall,
because those are people that work hard,
keep running,
and they fill their lives with things, and then they burn out, and then it's even harder because now they're not as good as they were.
Right.
And they weren't good to begin with. They just think they were.
You were just running. Stop running.
Those I hate.
You're gonna trip. Slow down.
It's like, how are you maintaining? You're not. You're dying.
No,
Sorry.
They're like, I don't want to hear my brain think ever at all.
Yeah.
None of it.
I feel so bad for
I don't want to feel a single feeling.
What's worse is people who can check in and do check in, and then they use that as like a tool.
Like our brother, who's like, oh, I felt away, so I adjusted.
No, that's good. I mean, like as a tool against people, like being insightful into other people's lives, and then being like, I know how to get to you. I'm going to use this for bad.
The monsters we could have been.
Yeah. Back when everyone said you were a sociopath, and then I was like, if she's a sociopath, then I'm a sociopath. Oh my God, I'm a sociopath. Legit was a phase that I had.
It's a phase I still have sometimes where I'm like, oh my God, am I crazy?
Not crazy.
Do I have emotions? Have I ever felt a real emotion? Yes, you have.
Yes.
Calm down. You're fine. You're fine. It's all right.
Well, the problem was with, okay, this is a tangent. The problem with that was
being crazy.
It was masking, right? Masking was what we were doing to survive.
Yes.
And that felt like sociopathy because it was putting on fake emotions and using what we knew about people to keep them from seeing who we are and what we're doing and how we are.
Yeah.
Which is why we were like, oh, we must be sociopathic.
And then learning later that you're like, oh, well, that stopped when I got out of that environment.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, maybe it was a response to my environment.
Yep.
Context
matters.
It's important.
Go back 3 episodes.
Just context. You need it for everything.
But yeah, well,
you will not understand.
Maybe that's a good bookend for this arc of context. Fear.
Yeah.
Because with context, I think things are less scary.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing too, is like, you're allowed to be scared.
Yeah.
But don't let the fear stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the fear interfere with what your life can be.
Here's a weird interjection. Because we're talking medically, right? But like, what if... Where does the fear of speaking in crowds come from? Self-perception? Like worried that you're going to be perceived away because you make a goof or a slip up
like
or something?
Social anxiety?
Yeah.
I feel like social anxiety comes from a place of being like hyper aware of self.
Okay.
But also it goes back to that idea of talking about like, is it self-conscious or is it self-aware?
Right.
Because they're not the same animal.
Right.
But I think people who are self-conscious have the ability to be really self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to like shift the lens just a tiny, tiny bit.
Yeah.
And then it becomes less fear-based and more information-based.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just
and
the
then
thought,
you get
because
into like self-understanding.
that's not like the fear of the unknown so much. That's the fear of people, again, like perception.
Right.
How people
and we are social
see you.
animals. And we are, if we're not, we have to be paying attention to our social groups and how they respond to us, like every other animal does.
Yeah. Okay.
Except for zebras. Did you know zebras are not?
They're not
innately herd animals.
Yeah.
They just do it for like.
I found that out when I went to the zoo and they only had 2.
Yeah.
And then the zookeeper was there doing like a talk about it, and I asked him like, why are there 2? It's like because they don't get along with each other.
No, they literally only herd as a survival tool.
Right.
It's just like a tool of convenience. There was no herd hierarchy at all.
So what you're saying is that if you want a successful zebra pack in like a zoo, you have to go out every day in your lion costume and go rawr and run after them and keep them on their toes, and then they'll stay friends.
Tranquilize one of them
like,
every once in a while.
I got one. Drag it off.
Yeah.
Bring it back a year later. This one's different. You don't remember this one.
Where are you going to put it for a year?
In the other enclosure.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
You just switch them back and forth.
Swap. The old Swift
swap.
Hot swap and zebras. You got a hot swap your zebra.
Why do they have 2 zebra enclosures?
That's
Mommy?
actually a really beautiful metaphor for EDS. That they don't herd.
No, they don't herd. Yeah.
And everyone feels very lonely when it comes to like EDS. They feel isolated.
Yeah.
That kind of works. There's kind of a synergy there.
Right.
If you hear horse feet.
If you hear hoofbeats.
Hoofbeats?
Hoofbeats.
Like a if a zebra is dropping a badass hoofbeat, then
don't you say it's a horse.
No. If you hear hoofbeats,
don't do it.
Get some friends for them. I skipped a lot of
unless
stuff
it's an actual zebra, in which case he doesn't want a friend.
No. But
he doesn't want to be friends with you even.
If you're a doctor and you're like, oh, this person they look like they have basic bitchness, and then it turns out they don't, give them friends. That's prescribe some friends.
Prescribe some friends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what fixed us. Our friendship. And then finding internet friends.
Yeah. And all that therapy.
No, I don't know. I don't think therapy had anything to do with any of it. I don't have
prescribe
a therapist.
some friends.
I have some prescribed friends.
The
universe gave me Austin.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it.
He's been prescribed friends also. He's steadfastly ignoring us. He's trying really hard.
I don't think he's trying. I think he's just focused on Pokemon. I think you're projecting a bit.
I'm just trying to get him to crack up.
She's trying to poke the bear.
That's all I wanted.
Leave the bear alone. It's playing Pokemon Go.
I don't want to leave the bear alone.
Leave him alone. You fucking Jezebel.
Woman or bear.
And there it was. I've been saving that for like 5 days. Told you it would be a good one. So, little backstory. The other day, I was just sitting with Karina and we were doing our thing, and she said something backhanded, and I went, "You fucking harlot," and she lost it. And so since then, I've been trying to remember, like, I'm picking up old slang for ways to call her, horrible things. Jezebel's a good one.
Your mom's a hoe.
You Jezebel.
That was worth the wait.
It was. She thought I used it up earlier. I was like, no, that wasn't it.
That's amazing. Yep, I liked Harlot. Harlot was really good.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Harlot's kind of my fave.
That was pretty wonderful.
I yell that at Rain a lot now.
It's so funny. I don't know why, but it's really funny.
Old-timey speak, man. Does wonders for the
especially
humor.
In like an unserious way.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's so funny. This is why I got in trouble my entire childhood. Like, this is why. I wasn't being mean. I wasn't trying to just be an asshole all the time. I thought I was being funny.
No.
And my siblings mostly thought I was being funny.
All right, we might have to cut this part. But remember, the name of the game was sit down at dinner, be funny, but don't be funny. Which parent did you want to be proud of you in that moment? Right?
The funny one.
Yes. And so we often got the look. Like, oh, you're crossing the line.
You better stop having a sense of humor right
You made
this
your
instant.
father laugh. Stop it. And everyone else was laughing. It was like we would sit down and just try and like out funny everyone.
Funny each other. It was great.
Yeah, but Benji always won. Benji always won because he waited. Benji or Alex. Because they would wait. They would wait till the very end.
Unless it was Sarah.
Oh, no, that's what I'm... Yeah,
who
Sarah.
would pull out something like way out of pocket and just drop it and then walk away. And
no,
you were
you're
just
right.
like...
Sarah was queen.
What?
She never failed.
Oh my
like,
God.
I've seen Benj and I've seen Alex fail, but I've never seen Sarah drop something that wasn't hilarious.
No, it's because she didn't say anything until she had a really hot singer to drop. Yeah, that's how that went.
And we were just over here just whatever. We're throwing it all out.
Oh, it was so good. Everything was a bit. Everything's a bit.
Everything's a bit.
Did you know this podcast is a bit? It's not a bit. It's okay.
It was a bit.
It was a bit, actually.
Okay, I'm gonna edit this part out. Everything there, I'm gonna edit out.
Okay.
Say, make an X so I can find it. But we'll come back in. We still have time.
Everything's a bit.
I just don't want to drop like dead.
All the names.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. It's fair.
I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
I don't know where we were before that.
We were talking about fear.
Mm-hmm.
See, she's still cracking up. Oh
Great.
God.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm a Jezebel, and we are talking about fear.
Yeah, you are a Jezebel, and we're talking about fear. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How was your break?
Funny.
I think this might be the end, guys.
I think it needs to be.
I think we've hit the wall.
I'm sweaty.
Me too. Like
It's time to be done.
Yeah, we're not doing well.
I can feel the heat of my own self trapped between my shirt and my skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great.
So we're gonna go.
Yeah, but you guys need to hydrate or dehydrate. So drink some water.
Yep, have a snack because you are a snack.
Yes, if you have POTS, increase your salt and fluid intake. It's
Make sure the
hot
salt.
outside.
A lot of people will do just the water, but they won't do
Yeah.
the salt.
Increase your
you need
salt
both.
intake. You need that. It helps your cells retain it.
And then if you're bipolar, which most of you are,
Mm-hmm.
calling all of us out, check in with yourself. Are you manic? Are you not? Cool. Either way.
Do we tell them to have a snack?
Yeah, you can have a snack. Just don't spend all your money on that
have
snack.
a salty snack.
Don't go to eBay and look at antique snacks because then you can't even eat them.
Don't do that. No.
You're just buying wasted food.
You are a snack. Like you're valuable, but that's not what I meant when I said like have a snack. Like you are a snack.
I already said that part though.
That's what I was asking. I thought you had, but I'm falling apart now.
I know, it's fine.
I'm like my brain is doing.
I said Jezebel and I broke you. It's fine.
Yeah.
I get it. What a harlot. Am I right?
Go outside, have some sun, but do it responsibly. Don't get sunburned. If your skin is white, use sunscreen. I don't know what to tell you.
If your skin is any color, use sunscreen just to fit in. Or put lotion inside of like a sun thing, like a suntan or like a, you know what I mean, a sunblock.
Because really, like if you have
you gotta moisturize.
more melanin, you need more sunlight.
Yes.
You need it. Your body requires it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to wear sunscreen every time you go out in the sun.
Right, but you could lotion up and
You
fit
could.
in.
You could fit in and encourage your white friends to do it. That's how we're gonna do this. Yeah.
Shame your white friends. Go out and shame them all. And remember,
just don't do your lotion on them. It's not nice.
Yeah, don't do that.
You're gonna have a red friend.
Anyway, on that note,
I need to go. We love you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for following us. If you have, I cannot say how much I appreciate you all, and I know he feels the same.
I do.
Getting to see some of you this week was really amazing, and we really would we want to keep doing it and do more of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking forward to all the time that comes ahead, and we appreciate you guys for all the time that has come before and now. So on that sappy note, be kind to you, be kind to others, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Hot.
Also, like, sub, subscribe, notifications, and Patreon. Go to Patreon right now.
Yeah. Share.
Get Patreon.
Share while
Join
you're at
the
it.
Patreon.
Share it. Leave us a comment.
Summer school doesn't pay when you don't work, and it's summer. So I'm just saying. Yeah. Patreon.
Love you. Donut. Donut.